big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh! This is where I think we're going to see the caution. Oh! Here comes Angela, though. He'll have the run. That car, the newest below the Double Yellow Cup Series champion. And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins an Auto Club.
Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series, the start of the chase tonight from the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Affinity for Gaming Atlanta 188. Going to be a good one here tonight, 125 laps, just shy of 188 miles. This evening from the newly reconfigured Atlanta Motor Speedway. And this does kick off our chase for the championship for 12 drivers. Going to be fighting for that championship here in Season 6. The Below the Double Yellow Premier Series. Alec,
Hello.
It's gonna be a fun one here tonight.
It sure is going to be. Like you said, we're starting off the chase for the BTDY Cup. 12 drivers, and they will be, all those drivers will be recognized with a red spoiler, red windshield banner, and a red splitter, so you'll be able to notice them compared to the other cars that have black or another colored spoiler. And that's going to be great for tonight. These guys have been practicing big packs. Atlanta just repaved this year, and this year it's seen racing like we've never seen in a mile and a half. Very similar to Daytona and Talladega style, because this is the Daytona and Talladega package, the super speedway package, if you so will. Big, tall 8-inch spoiler on the back of these things. I believe they're the tapered spacers down to about 550, so a lot less horsepower than these cars usually have if they were to come here to the old Atlanta, which we will be coming to for the championship and closing out the season. But I think that's the big thing that we really have to go over here for this super speedway. It's a super speedway race, really. Atlanta, Atlanta-Dega, Atlanta-Tona, whatever you want to call it. These boys are going to be bump drafting. You're going to have to rely on pushing. You're going to rely on teammates here tonight, especially on the restarts if it comes down late into the race to a 2-lap shootout, which we know is very possible on these super speedway events. But I'll tell you, I'm so excited. These boys are going to put on a show. It's going to be a heck of a race. I tell you, it could be a race where we only see half of the playoff guys finish, or chase guys finish.
Yeah, it's going to be chaotic for sure, and we do have a good-sized field tonight. And what will be, I think, first broadcast from this this racetrack other than last night in the Contender Series, which had a photo finish coming down to the wire there between, I believe it was the Pelican brothers, who continue to just dominate that series. But tonight could be very much the same story. Could see a photo finish, just like we see at those big 2.5 mile plus super speedways. Looking at track temp and track conditions here tonight, 100-degree track temp, but shouldn't affect them, at least on the short run. You think it'll affect them as the run progresses here tonight, Alec?
Yeah, I think what we learned in July, obviously July is so much hotter than what it was here, or currently here in October. But in July, you had to save a little bit of tire. The track wasn't as, probably as gripped up as what it's going to be tonight, but it was super, super, super slick. And that kind of, affected dirty air with how big these spoilers are going into the corner. It's so hard to kind of, when you're in a pack with 20 other cars, you're so tucked up behind somebody. Being in that air, you might have to lift and sink those tires just a little bit, especially if you're in the middle of the pack. You might have to be careful with tire wear. These tires will wear a little bit. It'll be interesting to see once we get to the end of this race, if it comes down to a 50-lap run, 60-lap run, who's going to be going. I think if you're in clean air, you should be fine. But once you get in dirty air, about mid-pack, 5th, 6th car in line, you're going to probably have to conserve your tires and compensate for the dirty air and the aero effects that are going to be behind these big spoilers, these big cars, and especially that diffuser in the back.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as the runs progress here tonight, and 125 laps is going to be plenty of time for drivers to kind of hang on and just try and survive to the end. We'll see probably split strategies, like we see at those bigger tracks as well. And looking at the qualifying times here, fastest so far, it's Bailey Turner, and that pole would offer up a bonus point for him, and he is one of the 12 chase drivers. Let's take a look at the point standings as they enter into tonight's race. You can see the chase for the championship. Seth Hatchell, your regular season champion, he finds himself currently 6 points up over the two-time winner this season, Adam Cabot. And then you see Bailey Turner, also a two-time winner. He comes in third here to start things off, just 8 points back. Brody Hayes, Keith Mayato, AJ Stravato, Ben Baffert, all winners this season, 4th through 7th. And then you've got Joshua Banks, the first of the non-winners other than Seth Hatchell, and Joshua back there in 8th, Dane Cruz 9th, Dylan Parker 10th, Jeff Wright 11th, and Angelo Ronis, who was just able to make it in and also won the All-Star race last week. We'll see if he can go 2 weeks in a row here. Looks to be 11th quickest so far in qualifying.
Well, I think that's one thing as we look at these points here. Guys that can't afford a bad day today are Dylan Parker, Jeff Wright, Angelo Rose, all those guys you said that haven't won a race. Honestly, from 6th on down, you probably can't afford to get wrecked here. But if you don't get wrecked, and it's guys like Seth Hatchell, Adam Cabot, Bailey Turner, and those top 5 in points get in an incident today, you can definitely gain so much points, and especially going into Homestead, where we know it's going to be really, really tough. At least passing wise, and guys are going to be hopefully we hope to see all over the racetrack. But we're not going to have a race like we might have here where we could have an upset winner. And I think that's another thing we haven't really talked about, is that these guys are racing with other guys that aren't in the playoff. They're not racing for a championship this year because they were so close. Guys like Dallas Sullivan, Chris Samard, just barely missing it, and they sadly don't get a shot at competing for a championship, but they still want to compete for wins. And guys like Dallas, guys like Daniel D. Cunningham, a lot of Eddie Trail, these guys have a shot. And I'm not saying they don't have a shot on other tracks, but the shot is definitely increased when we come to a track like Atlanta, Daytona, Talladega, where we know pack racing, big wrecks, and if they can dodge the trouble, they can definitely be playoff spoilers. And if we look at the playoffs just this year, in the real NASCAR Cup Series, the first round was won by guys, upset winners, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, and I believe Eric Jones as well. Guys we didn't really expect to see winning in the Cup Series this year end up winning and spoiling the playoff guys' chances of getting wins and building points. I think we can very well see a non-playoff winner win today, and I think there's less non-playoff cars than there are playoff cars. So, it's gonna be tight. I think if we don't get a playoff car or a chase car winning, unless it's one of the guys in the bottom of the points, like Ronis, like Wright, Parker, Cruz, even Banks, It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens and how that affects. And like we're seeing on your screen right now, Yusuf Gali won the last two, or sorry, could have won the last three. He won two of the last three regular season races, and he really shook up the points.
Yeah, and a driver who did not make the chase just because he didn't have enough races under his belt and wasn't able to climb up into the top 12 in the standings. No winning, you're in here. But he is a two-time winner this season, back-to-back, like you said, almost three in a row after a very strong race 2 weeks ago. And then he could kick things off here again, kind of upset the balance of things. But how about Seth Hatchell, regular season champion, still looking for that first victory? Tonight could be a good opportunity for him as well. He didn't decide to qualify tonight, so that's a little bit surprising.
Old, I think we know what the strategy is there. Stay in the back. He's the points leader. He doesn't want to get in any incidents. We've seen him be in this position. I don't think we've really ever seen him go this far winless into a season, but it's still the points leader. Shows consistency out of the two-time champion. We know what Seth is capable of. He's capable of winning races. He's had race-winning speed many races this year. Just couldn't close it out. Couldn't get it done. Looking at the tracks that are coming up, you got tracks like Homestead, Bristol, where we know he can run out there. Almost won Homestead, and he won Bristol last season. So very possible for Hatchell to get a win. I think it's real. No matter what race, the competition's been fierce all year. It's hard to win at these kinds of or at any track in this year in the BTDY Cup Series. But I think it's even harder to win on a super speedway with how close these cars are. Anything can happen, especially in a pack race where the leader can get turned in front of the entire field. Look at the Coke 0400 this year. Austin Dillon avoided a 23-car wreck and won the race. So, you never know what can happen.
Yeah, there's less room to hide at this place too than there is in that one where he ended up winning that race. So, yeah, you can't really count anybody else, out of this one. You've got Michael Frisch. I'm not sure if you mentioned him. He's here with us
very
again.
good super speedway racer as well.
Yeah,
definitely somebody that I think will be a player. If he doesn't get involved in any incidents, he'll definitely be a factor at the end of this race.
Yeah, I believe so. So many contenders here tonight. Just about a minute left before we head to the starting grid. Let's hear a quick word from tonight's sponsor, Affinity for Gaming. And back at the racetrack now, going to be going through our starting grid here tonight from the Affinity for Gaming 188 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Starting up on the front row, it is going to be Bailey Turner, the number 24 machine, going to take the pole here tonight. Jeff Wright going to roll off from the second position, so great job by those drivers. Bailey going to get that very valuable bonus point, comes in only 8 points off championship lead. Chris Samard is going to roll off from the third spot. Ryan Gemmel, he'll start from the fourth position. Dane Cruz is going to start in fifth. Ben Baffert, he'll start from the sixth spot tonight. Nick Gardner going to roll off from seventh. Dennis Faircloth going to start in the eighth position. Rolling off 9th, it'll be Adam Cabot, and Reggie Ortega rounds out the top 10.
And in 11th, Keith Mayato, who has been one of the most dominant cars of the year, will be rolling off 11th. Luke Knupp qualifies 12th. Joshua Banks, 13th. The All-Star winner of last week, Angelo Ronas, will start 14th. The Italian Stallion, AJ Stravado, will start 15th. 16th, Dallas Sullivan. 17th will be two-time winner this season, Yusuf Ghali. Michael Frisch will be starting 18th. Dylan L. Parker will be starting 19th. And Brody Hayes will be running out the top 20.
21st tonight, it'll be Eric Hutton, 22nd. Points leader Seth Hatchell, 23rd. Eddie Trejo and Daniel Cunningham going to start in the 24th position. And that'll do it for us here tonight. 24 drivers around this mile-and-a-half racetrack. Should be very exciting. Like we said, super speedway package on these race cars tonight. Going to be a new experience, a new type of racing around Atlanta. They've done it twice in the real world, but you know, I have yet to really see it here in the sim world, and definitely not with these guys. So going to be a fun one. And of course, cheer on your favorite drivers. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for, and who do you think is going to win tonight's race. We do appreciate you tuning in here to VSPEED, and looking forward to a great night of racing.
For sure, and again, thank you to all tuning in. The chase for the BTDY Cup just about to get underway. Adam, before we go, I got to ask you, who's your pick?
Oh, my pick tonight,
It's
you know,
tough.
I know we've got a lot of peak performance motorsports machines. I like the look of the Cruise missile out there. Number 26, Dane Cruz, one of our chase drivers here.
Again, yeah, I also want to say the chase drivers that we don't have banners for. Banks, I believe, has one, but Jeff Wright. Jeff Wright is in the chase. I don't think we've got an update. He joined a little bit late in the session, but he is in the chase. You know what? I'm going to go with the trend, even in real life Cup. There hasn't been there was not a playoff car or a chase car winning, and I'm going to say that trend is here tonight. I think Michael P. Frisch goes victory and gets that first career win and makes it 10 different winners on the season. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long, grueling regular season. Seth Hatcher, your regular season champion, will roll out 22nd, but at the front, it's Bailey Turner, Jeff Wright to lead everybody down for the start of the BTDY Cup Series chase. For the BTDY Cup, green flag is in the air. The chase is underway from Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Great jump there by Bailey Turner. He's got Chris Simard all over his tail. Look at the gap back to Dane Cruz there. Jeff Wright all by himself on the top side, going to try and fight alongside Chris Simard, and already evident the different style of racing we are going to see here. 24 cars in this field, nose to tail, all tucked up to one another. And look at that, there goes Dane Cruz now, going to take a look down to the inside. Great run. He's going to try and pull ahead and get a lap led here on lap 1.
He sure did. He had such a huge push off at turn 2 by Ryan Gimble. Look at that. No help on the bottom. Bailey Turner leads the first lap. Jeff Wright right behind him, tucked up in that 48 low Chevy Camaro, but Cruz fighting down on the outside. Now 3 wide mid-pack. Here comes Reggie Ortega, sticking it 3 wide. Faircloth up in the outside lane. Very tight, very narrow, and remember there's a yellow line or a red line rule. You cannot pass under that double red line or white line, whatever you want to call it. You cannot pass under there. So you got to be very careful. Look it up, almost gets into the wall. And now Cruz charging up on the inside, takes that shorter route on the inside, won't lead the lap. Turner gets it again, but Simard slowly closing in. I see 3 chase cars up here at the front.
Yeah, and Chris Simard, who just narrowly missed out and really had a good stretch of races there in the closing of the regular season, had really mounted a charge to get up there. Look at Ben Baffert now going to try and drop out of line. Wants to maybe preserve himself for a little bit later in this race, but we know how aggressive Ben can be. A little surprising he's laying back here this early.
I'll tell you who isn't laying back. That's Dane Cruz on the inside. Looks like he'll finally be able to lead lap. No, he won't. I'll tell you, he's been making it 3 wide. Is that dark, bright red with the black number 2 on it. Reggie Ortega and the Black Rifle coffee machine. He's been making it 3 wide on a lot of guys, and especially the chase guys. I don't think they really want to be 3 wide this early into a 125 lap super speedway race.
Yeah, this is they're racing it up out here. No holding back in the first few laps, but some drivers are holding back. That's going to be Seth Hatchell back here in 19th position. He's got Daniel Cunningham, Brody Hayes, who's also been he was fighting for the regular season championship and so consistent. He's back here with his teammate running 21st. Then you've got Eddie Trejo, Eric Hutton, Dylan Parker, I believe, started from pit lane.
Yeah, and he's we talk about a chase guy in trouble already. his internet, I believe, was having a problem, and that's one of the things, the cases of racing online is internet, and I think that might have been him, and he had to start from pit road, had to reset one of his, either his computer or his internet, and he started from the pits. He's not lost a lap, but he is way behind the field, about 19 seconds. That lead pack should be able to run up on him within the next 10 laps.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the equivalent of like you've got a radio issue or something like that, or a steering wheel issue, and you got to start from the pit lane. But he's still on the lead lap, but yeah, about 2/3 of the way a lap down, and he'll have to be fighting with these guys once they catch up to him here. But still battling for the lead. Looks like Dane Cruz will lead this lap. So nice job by the Cruz missile to get out in front here and at least get that bonus point. Has yet to win a race, but out here in front early on in this one.
Beautiful paint scheme in that 26, that red banner, you can really tell, but
wow.
he's led the lap, and he's going to the back. Either going to try to conserve some fuel with his teammates or just go back and pick up his teammates. Ben Baffert, Dylan Parker still a little bit behind, but he led the lap, and he feels like that's sufficient enough to hold him over to the end of the race. But funny story about Dane. Dane was not sure. He accidentally uninstalled iRacing before the race went, so he had to reinstall it before we went going, and he barely got in. And then almost qualified on the pole, so yeah, maybe just getting used to things. As you can see now, if you look on the onboard of Bailey Turner, 2 distinct packs are starting to form. We got a front pack of about 10, almost 11 cars with Yusuf Ghali sticking in the draft. Ben Baffert, Luke Knupp, Dennis Faircloth leading the second pack. They're 3 wide. They can't be doing that much, but how about Ryan Gemmel charging up at the front, now down to the inside of Bailey Turner. Their team.
Oh, contact!
Oh man, great save by Jeff Wright. That could have been the entire front pack. Look at all the chasers in this front pack. Great save by Wright and a great save by Samar. Now Gemmel charging down on the inside.
Yeah, we can't count out Ryan Gemmel. He is a super speedway ace, one back at Talladega, and really, you know, these are the tracks that he feels very comfortable at, and he's already showing some speed here with his teammate right there behind him as well. They can work together. Bailey Turner got up the hill a little wide right there out of turn 4, cost him some momentum. Here comes Jeff Wright, going to shove him down into turn 1, but Gemmel fighting down low, trying to keep up. Nice run here.
And again, great save by Wright and a great save by Samar, and everybody checking up, giving him some space. I think later in the race, nobody's lifting it at that point. That might have been an incident. Somebody we haven't talked about started deep in the field. Keith Mayato is now cracked his way into the top 10. I think these guys starting to feel it out here a little bit. We got double file for about 4 or 5 rows, and then look at all behind them, just a single car train. But it seems like that outside able to carry enough momentum down the straightaway and get that run off the hill, and kind of just carries the momentum and is able to pull down the straightaways.
Yeah, pretty much even for the race lead. Now Gemmel alongside teammate shoving him along. How about Nick Gardner, who was leading a lot of last night's race in the Contender Series? I think he led the most laps. Ultimately,
61.
Yeah, ultimately found the wall late in the race, but that 16 machine can't count him out either. He also has a victory at Talladega in the Premier Series. So Nick Gardner, one of these guys to watch out for that could be spoiler here tonight. AJ Stravato, also pretty successful at these super speedways. Maybe not this season, but at least in seasons past, he has been a guy to be up there at the end. And Eric Hutton as well, back here 23rd. He is actually, it looks like he's lost the draft. Yeah, but he's a guy, if he can get back involved in things here, he is one to watch for. Has a couple victories at these racetracks.
For sure, yeah. Eric did, if I remember right, won a Talladega race here. I don't know if it was VRL or here, but he did an awesome job controlling the lanes. Obviously, these cars are a lot different than the Gen 6 cars on super speedways, but they kind of race not particularly identical to each other, but they race a little bit different, but still super speedway racing. As you can see Ryan Gemmel surging ahead here, and now looking up ahead of the leaders, Dylan Parker. Where does he go? We know how narrow this track is, and looking into the corners, not that much space. 3 wide can barely work. 4 wide probably won't ever work here, but 3 wide is going to be a tight squeeze as Parker blinking in front of everybody, staying about the middle, now goes down to the bottom, gets out of the way, and now Parker, our first chase contender to already have trouble dealing with some issues to the interconnection side, but Parker's still not having the right, not having the great start that he was probably hoped for to start off this chase here.
Yeah, and a driver who has actually had a lot of speed and, you know, just a couple missed opportunities this season. some controversies and things too. You know, a little bit of back and forth with I believe it was Jeremy Miller and also Adam Cabot. He got together with him in a couple races. So Dylan not having things go his way here, gonna have to kind of dig out of a hole depending on how the rest of this race goes. But already one lap down and really suffering some bad connection problems. But Gemmel fighting back for the race lead here, almost able to get out in front. Still Bailey Turner at the line, but Gemmel is there, and maybe with a good run this time through 1 and 2.
Yeah. Hasn't been able to clear, but that top wing gets such a great such a great run down this back stretch, with especially when Jeff Wright is tucked up behind Bailey Turner. You can see them just surge ahead and clears Turner down to the bottom. Ortega loses the nose in that wake of the 17. You see behind Ben Baffert here, or on board with Ben Baffert, you can see about five rows of single file on the outside. Turner, Wright, Cabot, Ortega, and Banks, and on the inside a whole lot of cars, names that probably take me 2 or 3 laps to get by or get through.
Yeah, definitely a lot of contenders up here in the mix. Joshua Banks up there on the top side in 9th position. Looking to get things started off, you know, here in the chase pretty well. He was a top 5 driver really all season, and missed a race there, and also not a great run the last race of the regular season. So that set him back, and he finds himself, you know, 8th in points or so, coming into this one with a pretty big deficit to make up. But so close to victory lane a couple of times this season, could finally break through here. But so far in the top 10 at the back of this lead group.
He's always been a player at the end of these Super Speedway races. He just hasn't had the right, I guess, he hasn't had the right timing. He's always been a player at the front. Daytona, he was there with 2 laps ago, actually leading off turn 4 until he got turned by, I believe it was either his teammate, or I think it was Jeremy Miller that got into the back of him and spun him. And then at Talladega was up at the front and then had a bad pit stop, had the caution come out, and then he got taken out on a restart. So, you know, Banks is definitely a player when we come to these super speedways, and could see him definitely being able to pull the win here tonight if he can get up to the front here. I think that's one thing we haven't talked about. Track position is very big here once we get some age on the tires. We're 20 laps into the run. I'm not sure on the way of fuel. I think we could probably get about 65 laps if my calculations are right. Got a little Larry Mack on you there, but I think we go about 70 laps on fuel, and I think that could take us all the way to the end. But tires are going to be big at the end of this run, and right now I think we're seeing guys like Seth Hatchell, Brody Hayes start to make some moves up to the front, and this pack has now become a 25-car pack, or back to a 20-car pack again, as the field's slowly starting to get back together. Let me tell you this, just to blow your mind a little bit. First is Bailey Turner leading off of turn 4. Eddie Trejo, or sorry, Dallas Sullivan in 20th is only a 1.5 seconds back.
Yeah, and you've got Daniel Cunningham right there as well, just another 10th back. Dennis Faircloth, really the last car in this group other than Dalen Parker, the lap machine. And he's just 2.1 seconds behind. It's not like he's very far off of any of those guys. But yeah, you mentioned Seth Hatchell and Brody Hayes. They've moved up now inside the top 15 after running towards the tail end there. And now side by side, the teammates, they had a great run just a few moments ago. Actually almost broke into the top 10. It looks like they just decided to test it out and laid back. Oh, Keith Maiato, close call right there.
And that was close. Asia Stravato stuck it up into the inside, and Keith Maiato almost got into the back of Banks and triggered a huge collision. And I'm looking here, if you look at that top lane, there's way more cars. The energy's kind of switched. Everybody up on the outside lane, and now guys jump back down to the inside lane. Oh, Luke Canup almost up in the outside wall with Eddie Trejo. But you can see that top lane starting to get some more momentum. We could see that train happen where everybody gets up onto the wall. But here I noticed the checkups are kind of big once you get middle of the pack. So it's kind of better to run side by side. As you see, Reggie Ortega and Joshua Banks making some contact. And now the top 4 switch back down into the bottom lane, then back up on the straightaway. Gemmel now goes up and finds the hole in front of Banks in the 5th. And now Lisa Samard, I believe that's Gardner and Stravato. Now Banks goes down to the bottom. Ortega about to get split in the middle.
On the wall.
And now you're starting to see the tire fall off.
Yeah, I saw Gemmel a couple laps ago out of turn 2 get very loose, and that's kind of what started the inside line stack up. And really, that's just shaking everything up. Maiato caught the wall, but looks to be in good shape here. No real issues. But he finds himself back to 12th, and yeah, some of these guys who are at the rear, yeah, look at that big push there out of turn 2. Almost catches the wall again. These guys fighting the cars here just 25 laps in.
Yeah, this is, again, we say Talladega Daytona style racing in a sense of, yes, the packs, but handling a lot more of an issue than it is at Daytona or Talladega because it's not a 2.5 mile racetrack. It's not even a 2 mile racetrack. It's a 1.5 mile. It's a super speedway in a 1.5 mile. Things happen so fast already. The corners are so different. You can't really carry the momentum as good as you would at Talladega or Daytona with the pushes. Handling comes in, especially on the entries of the corners and on the exits if the car kicks loose.
Looking at the battle here for the 4th position. Yeah, big bobble there from the 35 down in the inside lane. And there is Reggie Ortega now charging forward up from the 10th position to 4th spot. How about Brody Hayes, though, up from 20th to 7th?
Wow.
Continuing to fight for positions here. Seth Hatchell from 22nd up to 12th. So those are the 2 big movers so far in this one, but you've also got AJ Stravato, who's up a few spots. Mayato up a couple as well. Joshua Banks up 7.
And seeing the VSPEED teammates all going up to the top, except Samart. Samart's kind of been stuck. As you can see, Banks slides his way up, and now that leaves Cabot and Ortega left down to dry. But I'm noticing Bailey Turner, Jeff, right? They kind of just go into the corner, they arc it in, and they go down to the bottom, and then they kind of arc it, or then they let the car float back up, and oh, look it up into the outside wall. Gets loose, and he'll save it. Or these cars can't take a hit, but you don't want to damage that that toe link, as they say. Now up at the front, Jeff Wright, Bailey Turner really playing with the lanes. Gemmel kind of trying to figure out what he's going to do if he wants to get around him or stay in line. Brody Hayes now cracked into the top 5, Gemmel's teammate. I'm sure wherever Gemmel goes, Hayes will probably try to go with him.
Yeah, Brody pretty loyal there back at Talladega, along with all the rest of the VSPEED machines as they finished in the top 4 spots. They're missing James Loveland here tonight. You know, that would make a very strong group of race cars to compete with at a super speedway race. But how about Bailey Turner still hanging on to the race lead here? His teammate Adam Cabot, though, has moved up behind him, up from the 9th starting position. And Bailey has led all but it looks like 3 laps here tonight. So really, really strong start for him. But here comes Cabot.
Stravato almost got up into the outside of, I believe, or up into the inside of the 36 of Mayato, and almost triggered an incident. But I'll tell you, Bailey Turner, we've seen it here at Atlanta. Oh, Frisch, oh, he's up into the outside. Well, just brushes it, it's all good there. And now gets put 3 wide by Knupp. But I'm seeing here, Bailey Turner's been able to kind of control this race from that lead. Again, we're very early into this race. We've still got another 95 laps to go, so no time to really push it. I think later in the race, guys are going to kick runs way quicker than they have. They're kind of been loyal to just giving a push down the backstretch. But looking at the runs build, I don't think we're going to see a lot of controlling at the end of this race. I think it's going to be just take. Right now, it's a little bit of give and take on both sides.
Yeah, look at the run here from Adam Cabot. Going to try and take 2nd away, but still side by side. Great run, though. Look at him pull right up to his teammate, and he's going to bring Reggie Ortega right here with him. And, you know, I don't know if Reggie has too much loyalty to any of these guys at the moment.
His teammate Jeff Wright. Don't forget Dark Smoke Racing. Jeff Wright was their teammates. But you can see, look at that top lane just surging ahead. No real momentum on the bottom. Not enough energy, not enough cars. But I'm starting to notice the aero effects behind some of these cars. Looking at Jeff Wright get right behind Bailey Turner. We might see it in turn 1 if he follows him. But the dirty air is really starting to kick. It's really starting to kick in, and we'll see going into this corner here if Wright's able to follow. Doesn't look like he will. Gets some clean out of the nose, but you'll see guys middle of the pack, though, especially in turns 3 and 4. Going on the entry of turn 3, they just wash up the racetrack.
Yeah, I saw Jeff Wright just get a little bit tight there out of turn 2 even, and he didn't even have that much air, you know, taken off the nose. He's only got 1 car in front of him. All these other guys have all the rest of the race cars in front of them. So,
oh yeah,
even just 1 car does make a difference here. Look at the big push from the 17 to the 24s. Now they're going to jump up to be the top 2 on the top lane. But Wright charging around the outside again. He's going to try and take that spot back from Cabot.
Great move, great side draft down the backstretch. And now look at the run that Gemmel and Brody Hayes get. Now they'll suck up to the back bumper of the 48. And now Wright challenging for the lead, gets up to the outside of Bailey Turner. And now can Wright get the right? Can he get the push? Turner gets a little loose off the corner. It looks like Jeff Wright will lead the lap, and he'll add a bonus point to his name. Again, Jeff Wright, a chaser. We don't see the red banner. Anybody who is just tuning in, red banner, red spoiler, red splitter, those are the chasers. And they are in the chase for the BTDY Cup Premier Series, if you so will. But Jeff Wright, we did get the banners updated for his car. I think he joined a little late into the session, but 12 guys are in the chase. If we want to pull up those standings real quick, Seth Hatchell came in here as the points leader and as the regular season champion. I believe it was Adam Cabot second, Bailey Turner was third, as Bailey Turner leads the next lap here. Adam Cabot right on his bumper, but yeah, that Jeff Wright, one of those chasers, kind of has to dig himself out of a hole. If we can lead some laps and stay out of trouble when we get later into this race, could gain a lot of points.
Yeah, he comes in 40 points down just starting the chase here. He's got to make that up in 8 races. It's going to be a tall order, but not impossible. It's just going to take a lot of consistency, which is something that he has kind of lacked here in the regular season. But it's never too late to start, especially now that you know that you're locked in. You got a chance to fight for this championship. He is up here fighting for the win tonight. Behind him, it's going to be Ryan Gemmel and Joshua Banks still strongly up here inside the top 10. He runs behind the VSPEED machine of Ryan Gemmel, and then Brody Hayes to his inside, Keith Malato behind him, so the VSPEED machine's all surrounding him. Nick Gardner still's tough up here inside the top 10, and Michael Frisch has now broken his way into 10.
Yes, Frisch really starting to find some pace in that 58 bar visual Chevy Camaro. And I'll tell you, Adam Cabot just got split 3 wide. He did take the lead the last few laps. Now Wright splits them 3 wide. Now they're going to be 3 wide again for the lead. Gemmel backs off. Wright and Cabot no help. Ortega goes up, pushes Bailey Turner down. Brody Hayes does not like what he sees. He backs out. Now Banks goes down to the middle, and he'll shove Adam Cabot. Very sketchy situation.
Gemmel in the wall.
Gemmel goes up to the outside wall. And now it looks like Hayes gets loose on the apron. And now Beth Bafford goes down and gets away from this. Still at the front, 3 wide again. Aggressiveness, 40 laps into the, almost not even 40 laps into this race. Right, no help on the outside, but he's holding strong.
Yeah, I don't love the look of this. The 3 chasers out in front. Actually, 4 out of these top 5 right here. All chasers. Keith Malato right there as well. And now we've got 3 wide, 2 rows deep, almost 3 rows deep. And Malato nearly brushing the wall there. Close call for Reggie Ortega and Joshua Banks. It is getting crazy up here.
Yeah, Banks talking about backing out, but he'll stay with. Look at the run Joshua Banks gets. Almost makes a little contact with Wright. Right now, nobody going up with him. And I'll give Jeff Wright some credit. He's been able to hold strong with no help.
Oh, contact!
Oh, there's contact. They're 4 wide at the corner. They're still making contact. Doring again. Right up into the wall. There goes Banks. Banks still getting turned. He'll spin down the backstretch. Another chaser involved as he'll spin. Denny Faircloth hits him, and the caution comes out.
It was bound to happen. You can't make 4 wide work for very long. And Joshua Banks was right there pushing the issue, and ultimately it's just a little bit too far pushed there. Let's take a look at how this all started. They're 3 wide going into turn number 1. I'm not sure. It looks like Bailey Turner, yeah, he gets loose down there, catches the apron a little. They make contact, Frisch into the wall. Yusuf Ghali right there in the middle with all that, somehow able to avoid. But yeah, the 35 just gets hooked, bounces off the wall multiple times. Jeff Wright, heavy damage. Then nowhere.
He was fine, and then Faircloth gets it. But remember, these cars are strong. I don't know about Faircloth, but honestly, everybody should get out of there with minimal damage. Maybe Jeff has some damage to the suspension, one of those toe links. But honestly, surprised that wasn't bigger than what it was. Only 3 cars involved. Could have been way more as everybody comes down into pit lane, and I believe Chris Samar might have missed it. Dylan Parker will get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, so lucky break there for Dylan. He's going to have to hope for a few more of those, I think, tonight with the connection problems he's having.
And a big break for Eric Hutton as well.
Yeah, he'll be able to catch back up to the pack here. Let's see if we can watch the battle off of pit lane. Wrong end of pit lane. There we go. So it was Bailey Turner. Oh yeah, big big issue getting in the box there.
Yeah.
Here comes Cabot. He'll win the battle off pit road. Reggie Ortega. Close battle for third. That is going to be Bailey Turner. Then Luke Knupp. Wow, great stop from Luke. How did he get up there? 6th position at the moment.
I think he might have sped.
Oh man, what a bummer.
Yeah.
I thought he had a good pit stop and everything there, but I think he did. He just, yeah, maybe a little
He
too
did,
fast
yeah.
on exit.
Yeah, 14.3, actually the fastest pit stop of anybody.
So unfortunately, he'll go to the tail end here, but still be on the lead lap. No issue with that. And Eddie Trejo looks like he is behind the wall for the moment. Not sure if what's going on there. Still 23 in this race. Frisch on the pit lane for extended amount of time. He'll get
Yeah.
rolling here, though, so he'll stay on the lead lap as well. Chris Samard will take over the lead for the moment, about a third of the way through this race, and he will come in with Joshua
Mard
Banks.
and Banks are coming in as well. I think Banks obviously with some damage. Baffert coming back in. I think the real question is, before we get anybody going here, who should we pull in?
Let's
Win the
see.
green here. But we got enough time, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Who are you thinking? Any ideas?
I don't know. Do you think we do Jeff maybe after in that record? Or do we think maybe a guy like Seth Hatchell, the regular season champion?
I don't know. We might be cursing people here.
I don't know. I think right lap from what I'm seeing. Eddie Trejo, I believe, had a problem as well. Yeah, he dropped connection.
Yeah, he's had some issues here. How about, well, we're not going to have too much time. Maybe Yusuf Ghali? He just barely avoided that. He was in the middle of all that.
Yeah, I think we can get him in here real quick before we go green. Find him. There he is. Yusuf Ghali, Alec Martinez out of Baker. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right. Well, brother, you just missed that wreck. How was it racing up there, and what are you expecting before we get to the end of this race?
So I'm just saving tires, chilling. Everyone else, like, in front of me was seeming to go fast, but, like, Ben was saving, everyone behind him was saving, so I think there's, like, a big split in the field between who wants to save and who wants to go fast.
I see what you're saying. Well, again, we wish you good luck here. Don't get wrecked, because it seems like that might be the theme here for tonight. Keep her safe, and keep her clean, brother. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that is Yusuf Ghali. Let's take a look here at the front row. It'll be Adam Cabot and Reggie Ortega, and they will lead us back to the green flag. You've also got Bailey Turner, Nick Gardner, AJ Stravato, and Keith Mayato making up the first three rows. Cabot on the inside, help from his teammate. Good jump there, and he will get a nice run across the start-finish line to lead that lap. And that might be an issue, though. He's way out in front. Here comes Reggie Ortega with Nick Gardner. Going to work the outside lane.
Ran big back up on the outside there. Everybody stacked it up. It looks like maybe Ortega missed the shift. Gardner got in the back of him, and that kind of stacked everybody up. Now what I'm seeing, three teammates in the top three. I believe that's the SBR guys. All three of them, Stravato, Turner, and Cabot, get up ahead.
Yeah, and they have a nice little gap right now. Back to Reggie Ortega, Nick Gardner, Seth Hatchell side by side, 5th and 6th. And then Mayato and Ronis for 7th and 8th.
Yeah,
So a bit more spread out here. Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta be careful here. These guys running side by side. Those top four can pull away here if these guys don't get single file here pretty soon.
Yeah, they're already doing that. Reggie tucked in behind, and it is about a 4-car length gap back to Seth Hatchell and Nick Gardner, who are racing up. But yeah, that gap continues to grow. It's just the 2 cars down low. Nick Gardner hanging tough on the top side. That side draft, though, any little bit is going to slow them both down, and it has so far. The gap about a half second from Ortega to Hatchell, which is not much. They can make that up if they get single file here. But now the 16 looks like he's in line, and it looks like Angelo might get shuffled out here.
Yeah, now these guys, again, they need to get single file, especially Mayato and Ronis. Gemmel, because look at this, they're double file behind them. It's really broken up this field, as now Mayato now will tuck in behind Ronis, but like you said, about a half second lead for Cabot, and he's got about 7/10 on Seth Hatchell here. But now Hatchell and Gardner should be able to make some time up. Ronis, Mayato, and I believe Gemmel, they could make some time up if those guys get together, and they all 7 of them can pull away, or 8 of them. I think they can definitely get a gap over guys like Hutton, Cruz, Baffert, Canup. Those guys all double file, or all double file, and they're losing some time.
Yeah, even back here, look at Yusuf and Brody Hayes. These guys are already 3.5 seconds or so back. I mean, the whole field was within 2 seconds early on in this one, and all of these guys now much farther out than that, and it's going to be tough to catch back up from this distance unless they fully get organized, but these top four very organized, and they've got Hatchell and Gardner, and now they've broken away by almost a second and a half to Angelo Ronas.
And those 6 cars are going to pull away, and now as they go double file, Ortega actually thought about it, but now thought better of it and went back in line. These 3 right here got to make some time. They got Cruz kind of following along with them. He's in their draft. He doesn't have any help. He might lose them. Behind them, Baffert, and I see Knupp, Hutton, Golly, and I believe Brody Hayes. These guys still running side by side are absolutely killing their chance at having any shot at those top 10, which are pulling away.
Yeah, I looked at let's look at the lap times this time. So across the line, Cabot at 30.3. Go back to the second group, and that is Angelo Ronas and a 30.26. So they're slightly faster, but that's not a lot. That's a half tenth. But the gap is starting to close, just 1 second between Gardner and Ronas at the moment.
Once they get into the draft, they'll be able to suck up. The real question is guys like Baffert, Knupp, Hayes. I see a lot of chasers that are in that pack, and they're starting to fall back, and they've kind of lost that second pack, which is led by Ronas, Mayato. I believe that's also Cruz and Gemmel. Those guys are starting to catch up to the lead pack, but Baffert hasn't been able to make much time up on Cruz.
Taking a look here, Cruz has closed up, so the 4 cars in a line there, and Baffert last time around 30.27. That was a tenth and a half quicker than Dane Cruz, and they are about 1 second behind. So it's all kind of separations of about a second between these packs, which is very achievable to make up, but they are gonna have to get organized. And this group looking pretty good. Mayato pushing. Ronas looked to the inside for a moment there. But they're about a tenth quicker than the lead pack, and Eddie Trejo makes his way back on the racetrack. Jeff Wright still on pit lane.
Yeah, he got suspension damage. I believe he might have broke the towing.
Yeah, he is still sitting there diagonal in pit lane and having some problems. The crew working on his race car. 50 laps down in this one now. 51 as Cabot leads him across the stripe, and it's about to be 10 cars, in a pack here.
Yeah.
And Baffert is making good time. They're 3/10 quicker than the leaders. So that 23 car, they are moving with help from his teammate.
Man. I'll tell you, who's really been holding up these guys is Eric Hutton. Hutton finally just got in line. We're about 10 laps after the restart, so Hutton finally found a place in line, and now Frisch goes back up to the outside. These guys side drafting each other hard this entire time. They can't really be doing that much, and we saw how much time they lost as Ronas just caught up to the back of Nick Gardner, and now it makes that a 10-car pack, and behind them, Baffert, the next guy leading the second pack. They are moving right now about 3/10 faster than Adam Cabot, so those guys should be able to run down now. Guys like Frisch, Golly, Hutton, those guys might be in jeopardy, and they might be honestly jeopardizing themselves and the guys ahead of them that can't make up any time. 3 cars is not going to go faster than 10.
Yeah, just looking at the lap times here, Cruz 30.7. So the lap time fell off by almost 7/10. Ben Baffert 30.58. So they are still quicker.
Right.
Yeah, he's making his way off. He's going to be pretty slow here. I think that car still broken a little bit. I mean, he's got damage all over the front half of the car, and the field just barely working by there into turn 3. But he's going to have his work cut out for him here tonight, just hoping that more melee happens.
His best hope is all those chasers get involved in an incident.
Yeah, and the way that they're racing right now, everybody kind of minding their own business, just trying to run things out, have a shot towards the end of this thing. Look at Baffert and Knupp. They've closed up here.
And Hayes kind of caught it, and I think I'm looking here, Dane Cruz is kind of laid off the that first pack and kind of given a little bit of more of a draft to Ben Baffert. They've caught up, and now that'll make it about a 13-car pack, and I'm still seeing behind Golly, Frisch, Hutton, they're still running side by side.
This is not beneficial to anybody back here. I mean, that time they were 8/10 slower than Brody Hayes, who was, I think, one of the fastest cars on track. Those guys had a lot of drafting help in front of them. But either way, this group is definitely losing that lead pack now. 2.2 seconds behind Brody Hayes.
Lead pack's starting to get a little racy. Ortega kind of jumped down to kind of make some time here, or try to get by Idris Gravado, and nobody went with them. But then Cruz, the PPM guys dropped down. Cruz, Baffert, and and I believe that's Canup as well. As you can see, Gardner playing with him, trying to go down. Stravato goes down now, and that'll shuffle. I believe that's Seth Hatchell. Hatchell now goes up to the outside. He'll get up to the outside of Turner. Got by Stravato. Got by now Hatchell pulls up next to Bailey Turner, and now we got some racing up here at the front. 13 cars, and it's still looking that second pack really couldn't capitalize
man.
on this.
What a shot from Seth Hatchell to the back bumper of Adam Cabot. Yeah, he almost turned him right there. He knocked him about a lane and a half down the hill there through the tri-oval. And now out of turn number 2, he's pushing the 17 to the lead on the top side, but no help really from a teammate or anything behind Hatchell. He wants that bonus point, though. He is getting up there and in the action.
He is in that second pack, 4 seconds behind the lead pack. They are finally single file, and they'll start making up some time here. But these guys up at the front racing side by side will definitely help them. But right now, they're 4 seconds. It's going to be a lot of time to make up here. And I'll tell you, these boys are racing hard. Adam Cabot trying to control the lanes. Here comes Seth Hatchell here. Hatchell looking down. He's going to peek down the inside, side draft the 17. And Hatchell trying to go to the point. Cabot now going to side draft him down to the corner. Nick Gardner, we talked about him earlier in the show. He's starting to poke his way up to the front. Angelo Ronas, we've been quiet about him all day. His Cruz backs out of this. Gardner will now come up to the back bumper of Cabot. Now Turner shoving Seth Hatchell to turn 1. Turner's got his teammate behind him, AJ Stravato, and then Reggie Ortega. Right behind Stravato on the outside, it's Ronas in the 21, then Mayato in the 36. These boys getting really racy up at the front. And I'll tell you, they're almost door banging each other going into turn 3. Hatchell still trying to get the lead from Cabot.
Yeah, 4 rows of side-by-side here at the front of the field. And then you've got a few stragglers. Mayato is in there. And then Bafford, Cruz, Hayes, Canup. And you look back to the next group. Still, actually, that time around, about 3/10 quicker than these lead guys because of this side-by-side action.
That's exactly what they need to do. They need to chip away at getting up to this front pack. They're starting to really make some time, but they need to keep going. They got a long ways to go. As now Joshua Banks about to go a lap down. Got some damage on that car. He's 30 seconds behind, but about to go a lap down. He'll be the only car 1 lap down. So if he can just hang on to the back of this draft, he should have no problem unless there's a caution. He gets in it. He should have no problem. The luck out here, it gets really tight into 1.
Yeah, they're catching him in kind of a terrible spot as they're going to have to work past him 3 wide here. At the exit of turn 2 is where things really get tight. Look at that was Angelo Ronas get a little bit squirrely there over the bumps at the exit of the corner. And this is getting pretty tight up at the front. Hatchell with the push from Bailey Turner, but not able to do anything. And now Cabot in control with both lanes. It'll be Gardner and Hatchell battling for second. Gardner with the advantage.
Gardner in that 16 machine, he's been making some great time in that Celsius Chevy Camaro. As he gets loose, big shot there, gets into Hatchell just about. Everybody keeps it straight, but I'll tell you, Nick Gardner's really been making up some great moves. Just hasn't had the push down the backstretch to kind of carry the momentum, but he still gets a nice draft, and he'll suck up to the back of Cabot. As Cabot now goes down to the bottom, makes Gardner get clean air to the outside, and no draft. Cabot really starting to play with the lanes here. He's been doing a great job. His teammate Bailey Turner's the pusher of Hatchell in the 8. You'll see, gives him a big shot down this front stretch. Look at the run Seth Hatchell's able to generate. He'll pull up right next to the 17.
Yeah, and he might have a good opportunity to side draft him here on the backstretch. Looks like Cabot goes a little wide on exit, and looks like Nick Gardner was about to take it 3 wide. Joshua Banks, meanwhile, has caught on to the back of this pack, so he's trying to keep up and be, the car to get the lucky dog. That second group making up time still, but not as much as before. They were only about a 0.5 quicker, and this time at the stripe may not even be quicker than the leaders, as they put down a 31.24 for Cabot. And looking back a little further, 31.20. So yeah, about a 0.5 again. It'll take a while to get there.
Yeah, they got to really start making some time up. And I don't know if Golly's not the fastest car to be leading, but he's trying. They just need to get some more time. I don't know how they're going to find it, but they can't find it. They just got to keep working at it right now. Still.
Oh, contact! Hatchell!
Oh, saved it! Great save. Turner has to go under the red line. I don't know how the officials. I don't know how the officials are going to deem that, but he might get a penalty for going on the yellow line, but it was avoiding an incident. He should be fine, but a little bit of contact between Gardner and Hatchell there.
I'm going to go back and take a look at this. That was nearly disaster for, again, a lot of chase drivers. This is the replay here. Hatchell down low. You see Gardner on the top side, and they just kind of come together.
Loose, yeah.
And man, what a save though. It's so hard to save these things. Hatchell's made a couple of those types of saves this season and kept himself in contention here tonight. Cabot
That
leads
really
the top
helped
line.
Second pack. That really helped that second pack, that big checkup. The pack in about a second that last lap there. And now they're almost in a draft range where they can get to the, if Golly can get to the back at least within a second, they get within a second of Joshua Banks. They should be able to suck up a little bit better, and that'll make this pack into about a 23-car pack, or 22-car pack.
And we'll watch the times at the line again. Bailey Turner across the stripe, 31:31 to Golly's 31:24. So yeah, nearly a tenth again. So they are definitely closing up. That was exactly what they needed. And we may have, once again, about a 22-car pack fighting for this thing tonight. We're just past halfway. It's really flying by.
Yeah.
With just, just the one caution, we've had 10 lead changes so far in the first 67 laps across the stripe here. It's going to be Bailey Turner once again, who's dominated this race, leading 32 of the 68 laps. Now 69 goes up on the board. Adam Cabot going to fight back on the top side.
Cabot doesn't have as big of a push. Turner's got more help on the bottom with Stravato tucked up on his bumper. So far, it looks like everybody's double file here. Again, we're getting to the part of the run, 30 laps. Handling's really going to start coming in. It's going to really be a factor here. So guys are going to start sliding around, sliding around here. Can they hold on to it? We saw a crash earlier where they went 4 wide when we think that wasn't going to work. Joshua Banks and Jeff Wright get caught up in it. 2 chase drivers with trouble. Dylan Parker started the race behind in the pits, and now he's barely hanging on to that second pack in the draft. He's hanging on now behind Dennis Fairclough, that second pack, slowly but surely gaining on that first pack of 13, 14 cars. But right now they were about even that last time by.
Yeah, so 2 cars off the lead lap that our chase contender, Joshua Banks, is in the lucky dog spot. Jeff Wright currently scored last in this one, 13 laps down, and really no prospects for gaining any positions here other than Eddie Trejo, who is in an undamaged race car 3 laps ahead of him. So Eddie's going to have some serious problems here if Jeff wants to gain any spots, and he's going to have to hope that all these other chase drivers have problems as well. But already in a hole coming in, and that could very well put him in a difficult spot to try and win this championship.
Angelo got really loose on the bottom. Another one of those chase drivers I don't think we should have a banner for, but Angelo is in the chase. You can see Ortega closing up right behind him here, and these guys all side by side here till we get to about Dane Cruz, who's running in 11th or 12th actually, with his teammate looking up behind them, about 6 rows deep of double file. And then that second pack almost within draft range. Golly really starting to haul the mail here with Eric Hutton on his back bumper. If we're getting on board here, you can see that front pack. They're getting bigger and bigger in his windshield. They can just make up a little bit more time. They're about a second behind Luke Knupp, or sorry, about 9/10 of a second behind Joshua Banks. They can start making some time here, and they might be a part of this pack in the next 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, I think they have caught the draft now. That gap is already shrunken to 8/10, so they're in drafting range. I mean, that gap's only about 8 or 9 car lengths, and they are there. So we are going to have the whole field under a blanket, with the exception of Eddie Trejo and Jeff Wright. And I think Eddie's all by himself, so he's not in this pack.
Jeff, yeah.
And Jeff is as well. So everybody else, though, that is still in this race, not even on the lead lap, they're all up in the group. And look at this, teammates battling for the lead. These two, both 2-time winners. They were the first 2-time winners, and then we had Yusuf Ghali.
Actually, I think Ghali was before Bailey Turner.
Yeah.
The only 2 chase drivers to have multiple wins. Bailey got his first win at Pocono on fuel mileage, and then got a great restart at Charlotte and was able to win the race, and also got himself up there by fuel mileage. So Bailey Turner, if there's any fuel mileage races in the season, watch for him. Adam Cabot won the first 2 races, kind of cooled down, but kind of turned it back up at the end of the regular season. And I'll tell you, AJ Stravato got 1 win, and that was at Las Vegas. Had a great restart. Was able to beat Seth Hatchell and pass him on the final lap and get the win. Keith Mayano won Kansas. Angelo Ronas hasn't won a race this season other than the 2 exhibition races. So, you never know.
Yeah,
Looking for that first win, though.
He's technically, I mean, a 2-time winner, but just not points-paying races. I mean, he's been so good in those exhibition races. How about Yusuf Ghali now caught up to the back of this pack. Eric Hutton as well, Chris Marr, Dallas Sullivan, and the whole field all within 2 seconds.
Man. Nick Gardner got a heck of a push down the backstretch, and he was able to take the run on Adam Cabot. Cabot went down to cover, and it looks like he won't be able to do it. Nick Gardner now to the inside, and Gardner will lead the lap across the line. Here comes Keith Mayato, shoving it up the track, and now look at Yusuf Ghali make a move on Ortega, but under the double red line, or the line there. I don't know how the officials will deem that, if it was legal or not. Gave the spot back, but a huge run. Remember, you cannot pass below that line.
Yeah, and he finds himself now in the top 10. Brody Hayes back in the pack as well. He's caught back up. Ryan Gemmel way up the hill right there. We haven't talked too much about Keith here tonight. He has not led any laps, started 11th, running in 3rd, and one of those drivers who saves his stuff. You know, he might have something here as these tires start to wear off. Might be able to fight for this.
Almost got some contact between the 16 and the 17. But I point something out. I don't think I've ever seen green flag pit stops happen here, and I think there's still a pit stop to go. So that would be something.
Yeah, 37 laps run on this stint, and we've got just under 50 to go in this race. They're definitely going to have to pit. If they get a caution now, that's probably the final pit stop, other than maybe a late race caution. You might see a couple guys bring it in, but how about this? Gardner still fighting on the inside lane, and big shove from Stravato to Turner.
Stacking up too, and I think Gardner might not have the tires that he was hoping to have when he made that move.
Oh, contact! Reggie Ortega!
Can he save it on the apron? Back at the racetrack, he'll save it. What a save by Ortega. I don't know who he made contact with. It looked like it was Yusuf Ghali.
Yeah, let's go back here. Take a look. Yusuf got an insane run out of turn 2. Tried to go to the middle, cut down to the inside. Reggie he didn't really block him. It's just Yusuf kind of put his nose in there.
Yeah.
Good save,
Great
though.
Save. And the Gardner dropped down to the back of this pack here and let Bailey Turner lead. And now it's kind of opened the door for the VSPEED cars. All 4 of them. 3 of the...
Oh, Mayato!
That wall!
Just as you're talking about him.
It's pretty wide.
Oh, man, I don't like the look of this.
Gemmel might back out here, get behind his teammate Hatcher. The top 2 kind of starting to get away here with Mayato and Cabot. Now the pack's starting to come back slowly but surely together. Hatcher going to get a big run down this backstretch. He'll have the draft from Mayato. He'll clear Turner now. He'll get a big shot from the 6 of Gemmel. Hayes closes up to him as well. Mayato being nice and steady here. Turner dives down to the inside here. Hatcher clears now Mayato, and Hatcher clear of the 24 of Turner.
Yeah,
as the lappers are starting to close in. Here comes Ghali making it 3 wide.
Yeah, Yusuf. Oh boy, 3 wide. You got Brody Hayes in the middle. Not a lot of room for him either. Keep it straight for the moment.
Going up with Ghali too, and Hutton gets up into the outside wall.
Oh man, it gets so tight, especially late in the run like this. These cars just do not handle very well when they're three wide or so, and they are still 3 wide. Brody Hayes.
Ghali is moving through the field. They're still 3 wide with Hayes, and then Hayes will try to find a slot to the inside. Not going to. Baffert shoves his nose there.
3 wide contact.
Oh, Gemmel! I'll tell you, these non-chasers are really scaring the chasers.
Yeah. Well, they can't see the banners, right? They don't have the banners up on their end, so they can't tell who's a chase driver other than...
Yeah, next week they will.
Yeah, other than what they can remember right now. How about Keith Mayato, though, to the point? He'll take the lead away, and he is starting to struggle a little bit, though, with the tires, I think.
Yeah, and here comes Hatchell down to the bottom. I'll tell you who's got a lot of speed is the 54, Yusuf Ghali. Ghali's carving his way through the pack. And now we're running up the lappers, too.
Who do we have out there? Is that
Frisch lost the draft.
Yeah, he's 7 seconds back, but well ahead of the leader. The Eddie Trejo. Boy, this is gonna get
him on the front stretch. I think is gonna be the good thing. So he'll probably get out of the way. Hopefully they don't catch him in a 1 because that might be treacherous.
Yeah, that might be the end of it for everybody here. Here we go though through the trial. Well, they're not. It might be turn 3 by the time they get to him. Honestly.
He's going high here. They actually might get to him on the back here if they're lucky. Mayato leading this pack here about 20 cars.
He's going to pull down to the inside. Nice, respectful move there. Already 10 laps down. He realizes his situation and what's going on here at the front of the field. So nice job by Eddie. But here comes Cabot now. Going to look to the inside. It's going to be Mayato on the top. Here is Ryan Gemmel now closing in. Going to try and push his teammate. Mayato at the line with the advantage. Man, 2 by 2 by 2, about 6 or 7 rows deep in this field. Nobody giving an inch here.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, 2 chasers. I see a lot of chasers in the top 10. I think at least 6 of the top 10 are chasers. Big shot to Bailey, or Bailey Turner to Hatchell. Big shot to the back of the 8 car. Now Mayato kind of keeping that ground up. Going to roll the momentum off the corner on the outside. Cabot doesn't have as much help. Here comes Gemmel to help his teammate. Mayato will keep the lead, and now a big shove to Hatchell again. He'll try to give it to, and it looks like he'll try to give it to Cabot. Won't be able to. Cabot fighting hard on the inside now. Golly trying to make it 3 wide.
Yeah, big run by the 17, but he's got no run here as now the 6 of Gemmel.
Oh, man.
What does Gemmel do? He's just going to push his teammate again.
Mayato not blocking the runs here. We're coming to close. Almost 40 laps to go. Golly trying to make it 3 wide. Got to be careful here. Eric Hutton, whole top lane other than Mayato and Hayes, non-chasers trying to win this race.
Yeah, and Gemmel's got to be careful. He's got to know that Yusuf Ghali will do just about anything it takes to win a race. We've seen it from him in the past, and there's no holds barred here. He is definitely going for it. I mean, he wants another win. You get a bonus if you're the highest finishing non-chase driver as well. So there's all of that to play for. I think Ryan Gemmel is aware of that as well, though. He's up here fighting hard and helping his teammates out as well. Mayato still leads.
Yeah, Mayato doing a great job holding that outside. He's got his teammate behind him, but Gemmel's got to be careful to not open the door for the 54. He slides at the racetrack. Golly trying to stick it 3 wide. Now they're going to be 3 wide out the corner. Gemmel almost up to the outside wall. The whole bottom disintegrates because of that. No bottom lane now. Cabot, no help. Golly still stuck 3 wide in the middle with his teammate Bailey Turner. What is Eric Hutton? Turner 3 wide.
Oh, this is not.
There's some contact.
This is. I hold my breath every single time, but it is now Mayato and Hatchell who have
there's
broken away. There's
more.
contact.
They all try to
boy.
get double file again, and I think everybody breathes a sigh of relief, but Golly still trying to make some headway, trying to get to the middle, and the top 3 breaking away.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. I mean, he can win this race, but you got to be running. You got to have all 4 wheels on the ground to do that. How about Seth Hatchell? He'll take the lead from his teammate, though, while all that's going on. Mayato just got passed by the 8 machine. Here comes Cabot, going to try and take second away, and while they race side by side, that's going to allow Gemmel and Ghali to close back up again, and we're going to be right back in the same situation, and these guys with a huge run.
Bailey Turner's really starting to get loose, but out here, pit stop's about to happen. I don't think we've ever seen them happen in Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is going to be big, 45 mile an hour. They have to slow down in a pack. It's going to be tough here. Cabot
Here comes
gets on the
Cabot.
binders here. Oh, man, he's going to miss He's going to miss it.
Oh, my goodness. I saw people
He's
practicing.
definitely sped.
Take a look here at the replay. Oh, yeah,
Way
there's
too fast.
no way. Yeah, locked up for like 200-300 feet at least.
Well, what guys do now, I think he's definitely going to be serving a penalty. And that might take Cabot out of contention of winning this race, and that's going to be huge for the chase.
Just over 30 laps to go. They're just past 50
So
laps
that's
on
it.
this run. Yeah, when do the leaders bring it in? And would it be an advantage to pit just a little earlier here?
Well, do you go stop and go? As Bailey
wow.
Turner calling that he's going to be pitting this Stravado and Golly try to pit. Oh, there's a big contact. Man, gave a huge shove to Yusuf Ghali and got into Stravado and almost shoved him and spun him.
Yeah, Gemmel and Ghali have just been right on top of each other. Look at
Turner's
Gemmel
pitting.
to send on the outside. Oh, they're pitting.
Here. Oh, they're all going to stack. Oh, there's
Oh!
trouble. Trouble, hard hit for Gemmel. There goes Souls, but they wreck. All of them spinning in a pit road. Everybody's crashing in a pit road.
Oh, my
All
goodness.
the chasers, every chaser is spun into the pits.
We're going to go back and watch here. Nick Gardner took a huge hit. That was him into the outside wall.
Yeah, and then everybody crashed entering pit road. All the
Oh,
chasers
man.
got it.
Wow.
We've never
Look
seen
at Joshua
pit stop
Banks
here.
go for that huge slide.
And all the
Oh.
VSPEED cars are easing it into pit road. All of them just hauling the mail. Dane Cruz spins and he takes his teammate.
Oh my goodness! And there's no cautions for any of this because it's.
Any of this gunner's got to be careful going through pit lane.
Wow, this is gonna shake things up like crazy.
Nice and easy in pit road. Everybody seems to make it, but all the chasers that pitted in the first half have spun or got wrecked.
Gosh.
Chapman spun on pit road as well.
Jeez.
The field all broken up.
Yeah, how is this gonna shake out here? You see Cruz just
is
overshooting
spot.
his box.
And that's going to make it about, like I said, we've never seen green flag pit stops here. It's never happened.
Yeah, my auto wins the battle off. Dallas Sullivan had, I thought he was involved in one of those. He took two tires. Or he took a 9 point. Oh, and here he goes sliding off the pit road.
And he's going to save it.
Wow, great job.
That really jumped. There's only like 5-6 cars. Bailey Turner, is that Bailey Turner's still going? He may have spun, but he's ninth. The field's so spread out, I don't even know.
Yeah, he's ninth right now, and he is now some marred all over the back bumper of Dallas Sullivan. He's got to know Dallas is on 2 tires here.
I don't know. This might only be a 6 or 7 car race. I don't know. This whole second pack is a pack they might actually catch.
Yeah, so out in front, you got Mayato and Gemmel, and then it's a 1.3 second gap to Reggie Ortega and Ben Baffert. And then you've got another 2 seconds back to Luke Knupp and Brody Hayes. And then, yeah, you've got you got Bailey Turner and this 5-car group, but you've got Dallas Sullivan on 2 tires in the middle of it.
It's going to work for them right now. If they can hook up with Hayes and Knupp, they might be able to make some time up. They're only going to have 25 laps to do it, though.
I just don't see it happening from this far back.
I don't even know if Ortega and Baffert can run the top 2 down right now. They're tandeming, but those VSPEED cars, their teammates, they know the chemistry. Behind them, Ortega and Baffert have no idea how to work together with each other.
Yeah, I mean, Baffert pushing as hard as he can. That time across the stripe, they're about 2/10 slower than the leaders. Luke Knupp and Brody Hayes, though, they just ran as fast as the leaders, but they're almost 4 seconds back, so that's the problem.
If they were able to hook up with Baffert and Ortega, they would be able to make up enough time. I just don't think Ortega and Baffert are going to drop back 2 seconds.
I'll tell you something here. Seth Hatchell with a very long stop. I think he got speeding. He finished.
He's 1 lap down.
He's 16th, 1 lap down. Adam Cabot also a lap down, but in the lucky dog position. But man, it's not going to be good for the
lead lap. Yeah, all the chasers, the top 3 in points.
Well, Bailey is 7th, so he will take. I think. Well, actually, Keith Mayato, where he's sitting, could take the points lead.
Easily take the points lead.
And we still have 25 or so laps to go. How about Ryan Gemmel right here?
Is 30 points. Those are the top 3 a lap down. Brody Hayes and Keith Mayato would be looking good right now.
Yeah, Bailey is 7th on the racetrack. He's on the lead lap, so.
He's on the lead lap. Okay, so Bailey's looking good so far. Out of the top 3, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But the top 2 in points are 15th and 16th.
Yeah.
They may not get the lucky dog here.
And AJ Stravato is 17th. You've got Joshua Banks 21st. Jeff Wright is going to be, he's going to finish last tonight, 24th.
Yeah.
Angelo Ronas 20th, 2 laps down right now. Wow. It just shook up like crazy.
All the teammates that came in wrecked in the pit road. And what I'm seeing here, I mean, the top 2 are 2-car tandem they're having a good time right now. I don't think anybody's going to run them down. And they're about to get a 3rd car with them.
Yeah, Joshua Banks 2 laps down, 21st. Last car out there running other than Eddie Trejo, who is 11 laps down.
What I'm seeing that's good here is that Turner has ran down into the pack or they've ran into the 2-car tandem of Hayes and Knupp. That'll turn into a 6-car pack.
Yeah, you got Dylan Parker blinking, but how about Dylan in 9th? After all his problems early on in this, he could salvage a very solid finish here tonight. Daniel Cunningham, we haven't said his name once tonight. He is 10th position in this race.
Aircloth is in 11th as well. I think these guys just might need a caution for where they're at.
Yeah, they're just so far back, about a 1/3 of a lap behind.
The problem is the top 3 just ran. The top 3 or top 2, I should say, ran faster than 3rd and 4th. But Bailey Turner turned a 29.90, almost a half second, actually a half second faster.
Yeah, I mean, at that pace, they would get there.
And the more cars they get, the better.
Yeah, and they'll catch
They can pick up
Baffert and
Baffert.
Ortega in a while. It'll be 10 laps or so. But then that would get them there. That would be
Gives
enough.
them enough time to get there.
There are 3 cars out here in the lead. Let's see what kind of lap times. 30.17. That is 3/10 quicker than the previous lap with the addition of Banks in that group. That may be enough to seal it for one of these 2 V-Speed machines. We'll have to see. Does Gemmel just push his teammate to the win?
I mean, I think there's more to lose for Keith Maotto, but I think if you're going to play the team game for Gemmel, I think, yeah, I mean, he's your teammate, but why not win, I think, is another problem. I don't know how the teammate game will play. I would think Gemmel would try to win, because Ryan Gemmel, we're all competitors here. They like to win.
Yeah, and the thing is with the chase format, there's no advantage other than the bonus point, for winning. It doesn't like lock you into another round or anything. You just get the most points.
No matter what.
But he's still going to get more points than anybody if Gemmel wins.
Yeah.
Just looking at the gap here, Reggie Ortega. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's catching. I think they got a good shot at this. Bailey Turner's not making up any time. And honestly, I think what's helping them, they have Joshua Banks tucked up behind them. If they don't have Banks, I think they would have a shot. But right now, they don't. 3 cars is not going to be 2, or 3 cars is going to be 2. I think 5 could beat, 6 cars could beat 3. But right now, they're just not making up any time.
Yeah, you've got Dallas Sullivan fell out of that group, didn't he? Yeah, he did. He is 18 seconds back. He's having a hard time. 32-second laps there, almost 2 seconds off these guys. So the 2-tire call not going to pay off for Dallas here tonight. But you can't ever, Dallas always has something up his sleeve. He's always trying to get a leg up, and just not able to do it with the strategy call here. But it was worth a shot, He wasn't going to win any other way, I think so.
And what I'm seeing here with Banks kind of getting towed along here by... that first pack is gone. They are going to win this race.
Yeah, taking a look here. I mean, that time around, Bailey was about a 10th faster, but
It's not going to do it.
They're 5 seconds back with 17 laps to go. It's just the math doesn't work.
Yeah, like you said, I don't think. Obviously, there's never been green flag pit stops here. I don't think they're pretty much going in here blind, hoping, they can make the pits, and they didn't. A lot of them didn't. Everybody just spun. Everybody missed it or crashed. So the second pack is running down Baffert and Ortega. They don't have enough speed.
Yeah, I mean, the fastest that they can go is probably about 3 or 4 tenths faster, and I just don't. It's going to be so close if they can even achieve that. And
get these 2 cars. I don't know. Because the 3 cars are seeming to work.
Yeah, they're running, basically the same speed as those guys behind, just about a 10th slower. Going to be 15 laps to go next time around. But the gap now from Baffert to Bailey Turner is only 1.2 seconds. So they will catch them. There's no doubt about that. Those guys are about 4 tenths quicker than Reggie and Ben.
They'll get there right now, but they don't have enough speed or time to get down.
Yeah.
There's
you never
no
know
time.
What could happen, though, how hard they're pushing. There could be... Oh, look at Brody nearly getting into the back of the 17. Chris Simard right here in the middle of all this. Another good run for him. But, yeah, I think they're going to run out of time. It's going to come down to the teammates.
Yeah. Honestly, I can see Gemmel playing the teammate game and Keith Maotto walking out of here with the victory. But I think knowing Gemmel, I think he's going to try to get it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's going to come down to the last lap. I don't think he won't wreck him for the win. But who does Banks go with? That would ultimately decide it, wouldn't it?
Well, I think the thing is, does Banks just pull out of it? I think if I'm Banks, I want Ryan Gemmel to win.
Yeah, actually, you're right, because that's less points for Keith, who's a fellow chase driver, yeah. He might go with the 6. I don't know if he's thinking about that in the moment. I think he's trying to just figure out how not to get wrecked in all of it. But
yeah.
Taking a look here, Reggie Ortega, Ben Baffert, they're now in the group with Bailey Turner, just a few car lengths ahead. They are closing though, but it's not enough.
Yeah, they're gonna blow by Ortega and Baffert here, but I don't see them catching.
This is going to slow him down quite a bit.
Side by side, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they just, it slowed them down that much. I mean, almost 2/10 right there.
It's right there.
Keep an eye on the rest of the field here.
Now they're running side by side. This is it. This is going to do them in here. They've lost already 2 or 3/10. Oh, man. Big shove by both of them.
Look back here. You got AJ Stravato, Seth Hatchell, both fighting a lap down. This is for position between the 8 and the 33. Adam Cabot in the lucky dog position, well in front of all of that. He's up here with this group of race cars. Coming to 10 laps to go in just a couple of circuits. It's all but over.
It is 2 cars battling for the win at this moment, honestly. And unless they wreck that second pack, which I don't know what they're doing, they're side drafting each other for 6th. I think they've pretty much given up and known that the race is for 3rd.
What's incredible about how this is shaken out is we had 20 cars within 2 seconds of each other when pits started. And we now have 2 cars 5.5 seconds ahead of 3rd. I mean, it's just flipped itself on its head. It's completely different outcome than what we expected. How about Dallas Sullivan with his call? He is nearly a lap down now. I think he's got damage.
And if they pick up 4 cars, I think we can call this race about over.
Well, Dallas is running 32.2s right now. I don't think he can even keep up. Though. Yeah, but he has been 32s even in a pack. I don't know.
You know what might have won Keith Motto or Ryan Gemmell this race is Joshua Banks. Him being right behind them has helped them tremendously.
Hey, I mean, it's not over yet. Maiato has had such awful luck this season at times where he has had he should have 5 or 6 wins probably, leading with less than 10 to go, dominating races and not being able to get the win. This would be a good stroke of luck to have Joshua Banks in the right place at the right time. Not over yet though. I mean, we gotta watch this huge group of cars. Anybody could make a mistake here.
Yeah, I think that's their only shot. I mean, that's the only chance that they all get wrecked here. But what I'm seeing, I mean, there's just not enough. They're just not making enough time. I would have thought they would have made more time with 16 cars or with 5.
They're slower now.
They're slower. Yeah, no, Banks being that 3rd edition helped so much that one of these two should win this race, without a doubt. And it's all thanks to everybody messing up on pit road. Yeah, and I say that big. It should win this race, whether it's the chaser of Keith Maiato, and I don't think you want to give Keith Maiato any bit of momentum going into Homestead where he won last year. And I think this race, if he can win this, you can put Keith Maiato at the top of the favorite to win this championship.
Yeah, I mean, you think back to earlier this season, Maiato was your points leader for a few weeks there, and then, man, things just took a tumble, right? And a lot of bad races. He had a few good finishes in there. Had some podium finishes towards the end of the regular season, but man, just so much bad luck at the end of races where he had the race in his hands. And I mean, tonight, again, hoping we don't curse him here, but it's in that situation. We're going to be coming back to 5 to go.
They're going to get aggressive here. I know they're battling for 3rd, but they're getting aggressive. They're going to get aggressive here. Whether it's Hayes that makes a move or Bafford, Canup, I think Parker's probably going to stay in line here. Parker's going to get a lot of points with Hatchell and Cabot having bad days. I know they don't want to see a chaser win, but it keeps Parker within the fight here because Maiato will gain a little bit of points, but not as much as like Hatchell would if Hatchell would have win.
Yeah.
And I tell you what I've been seeing is Ryan Gemmell has been testing runs. He backs up out of the corner, and he starts getting, you'll see it right here, he'll back up out of the corner, and then he'll go ahead and he'll give a push to Keith Motto. If he can build that run on the final lap, he'll have no problem. If he can at least generate enough of a run there, he can at least pull next beside, and then he's going to have the side draft for his life.
Yeah, and then the teammates lead the second group. 5 laps to go, coming to 4 to go. Keith Maiato, he's now led 36 laps in the number 36 machine. Going to be hoping to make that 40 laps led by the end of it here. Ryan Gemmell, he did lead a single lap. Looks to be the highest running non-chaser.
Ortega, we're starting to battle back there too. This could be where the incident happens. We'll keep an eye on that, but at the front, no, it looks like Maiato's kind of gapping Gemmell here, but I think Gemmell's still trying to build a run here. 3 laps to go.
An eye on the side-by-side back here. Brody Hayes and Chris Samard look like they're trying to work together to maybe get to the front of this group. Brody could use all the points he can get, but a nice solid top 5 or even top 8 or 9 would be a good result for him. You know, he's been right up there in the mix week after week, so just to survive this with a decent finish is worth quite a bit. Coming back to 2 laps to go. It is Keith Mayato. Look at Ryan Gemmel, though, closing in. Joshua Banks starting to struggle. He is falling off of those two. And that second group starting.
Race.
I think you're right. I think exactly what you called earlier is what he's going to do.
And he's laying off of them. They're coming to the white flag. Keith Mayato is in the chase. His teammate right behind them is not back behind them for the third. All the way down.
Oh, Dallas Sullivan in the wall.
The outside wall. They should be able to make it back to the line unless there's any contact in the middle of 1 and 3. White flag is up in the air for the first round of the chase. Keith Mayato out in front. Can Ryan Gemmel do anything? Can he generate a big enough run?
Oh, Reggie Ortega.
Here comes Gemmel for the lead.
Battle for the win.
They're going to side draft each other. What a great side draft by Gemmel. Mayato's going to have to pull back on the outside. He'll pull him back. Gemmel fighting on the outside. Mayato on the inside, pulling him back into turn 3. They make a little bit of contact.
Oh, boy.
Gemmel open to the outside wall. They're still side by side. What does Gemmel do? Gemmel side draft. Mayato,
contact. Oh, my goodness.
At the line. Mayato is tracing the chase.
Wow. And then let's look at this battle back here. Side by side, 3 wide at the line. Oh my goodness. Bailey Turner for third, able to beat his teammate. Let's go back and watch that finish. That was incredible stuff. Mayato and Gemmel putting on a show for us here in the final moments. Go back and
finish. Wow.
Another great race from these guys, even with 2 cars, only 2 cars fighting for the win. All right, let's go take a look here to the start of the lap.
Ooh, Gemmel spun his teammate.
Taking a look here. This is the start of the white flag lap. Gemmel gets a great run through the trial, goes to the top side. And so tight there. Look at the run and how much he sucked the 36 car backwards. But then Keith able to pull alongside here and do exactly the same thing. And then down in the corner, he runs him wide. They make a little contact. Ryan catches the wall, but keeps the speed.
He does, and Gemmel does a great job side back.
Oh my
Doorbangs him
goodness.
off the corner. And I think Gemmel would have had it there, but that last little doorbang that sent the 6 wide gave Mayato the win. Mayato cruises to his second win of the season and he just burns it down on the front stretch. Keith Mayato is going to have probably the point sleep coming out of here. A great finish to end today's race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. They lived up to the hype. Big wrecks that happened, and a great photo finish to end it. I think, is that our first photo finish or second photo finish of the year?
Yeah, I think we've had a couple
Daytona.
of them.
And how about that?
There
Keith Mayato wins by .045.
Yeah, I think if Ryan wasn't like sliding across the wall there like that, yeah, wow, what a finish here tonight though. And Keith Mayato, your race winner for the second time this season, and what could have been probably his like 6th or 7th win, but yeah, there's the payback from the teammate as he chased him down here, turned him around here at the start finish line. But I don't think Keith is going to be all too or Ryan's even going to be that upset. Still highest finishing chase driver. He gets a nice little bonus payout there, and second place pushing his teammate or racing with his teammate for the win. What a finish. Let's grab these guys and pull them right up here actually and give them a
get him here. So should we go third? Bailey Turner.
Let's go with Bailey first.
There he is, Bailey Turner. Alec Martinez out of Bacon, the VSPEED booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Bailey, you kind of had an issue on pit road. I believe you almost spun going into pit road, but you rebounded. You get third. I know you didn't. You were able to gain about 2 seconds on the top 2 there at the end. But what more did you need to even get close to them, or did it kind of throw you for a loop that you weren't able to run them down?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting that, a pack of cars couldn't get there. Don't know if it was something on my end or somebody else's end there, but the whole pit road ordeal kind of sucked. We got ran over on entry. Luckily, and tried to make a race out of it, but unfortunately just couldn't get there in time. And luckily had a teammate behind me there for the end, kind of using him as a little bit of a shield in case anybody got a run. and was able to get the P3. So you know, not the start I wanted to the playoffs, but not bad either. So we'll try to go into next week. And where are we at next week?
We're at Homestead, Miami. That's actually in 2 weeks. We're
Oh,
off next
a
week
real,
for Halloween.
a real racetrack. A real
Yes.
racetrack. Okay. Yes. Okay. Can't wait.
Well, brother. Well, again, how do you feel about going out to Homestead before I let you go?
You know, I'll be the first to admit Homestead isn't my best track. Definitely gonna have to put in a little work there and get a little better going into it. But you know, consistency kills, especially when guys start making mistakes in the playoffs, and you saw that today on pit road. Um, so hopefully, no mistakes next week. We come out with a solid finish and move on to some more real racetracks.
For sure, man. But before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, of course. White Claw, thanks for coming on again
Ah.
for another season. Red Sim Design for all the work he does. He's been great with all the designs, and you guys up in the booth. You guys do a great job every week.
Well, we appreciate that, Brandon. Again, congrats on 3rd place. We'll see you in about 2 weeks. Again, happy Halloween to you. Next week we're off, but we will see you next Tuesday. Not this next Tuesday, the Tuesday after. I believe it's November 4th for the race at Homestead.
Yeah, like what are you gonna be for Halloween?
I'm going to be myself for Halloween. I don't normally do Halloween. I'll be watching some Monday Night Football, though. I will be
There you
doing that.
go. There you go.
All right.
All right. See you, boys.
Thank you, brother.
That is Bailey Turner, 3rd place finisher. Alec, I guess you'll be
Ryan,
football.
and
You'll be a football fan for Halloween.
football fan for Halloween. Yeah, I think
There you
who's Browns and the Bengals. That'll be interesting divisional rivalry.
It may not be a bad game. Yeah, Ryan Gemmel finishes 2nd. We'll pull him up here. Ryan. Yeah, Ryan. This is Adam and Alec in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy.
I gotcha.
Oh man, doesn't get a whole lot better than that other than taking a win here. But what a battle you put on there with Keith for the win. Door bang into the line, and you come up just about a half car length short. But describe you know, that last run being so far ahead, and probably what was going through your mind coming to the last lap.
I mean, we definitely got pretty lucky there through that pit cycle. I don't know if they wrecked right before it or what happened, but I saw a couple cars sideways the lap before we pitted, and I think that kind of spreaded everybody out. But yeah, Seth got a speeding penalty, and then it was just Keith and I was a little worried there at first because I knew they were packing up behind us, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds back, and then as soon as we got around Josh, I think it was, he kind of tucked in behind us, and we had 3 cars going, and we were able to maintain that gap. It was just kind of riding around to the last lap, trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I kept telling Keith I wasn't sure if I was going to try and pass him or not, and I mean, obviously I did, but I really was not sure if I was going to do it just because I'm so far. I mean, I don't have a dime in this anymore, and he's fighting for a championship. But I figured I'd go for it, and just ended up a little bit short. We were banging doors there at the end, and I think he might have used me up a little bit, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm not worried about it. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely very exciting. And you know, like we were saying, even though it was just 2 cars in contention and even teammates, you guys put on a great show for us. And your highest finishing chase driver in this one, so you get a nice little bonus for that. And we go to Homestead next week. How do you feel about going out there?
Well, Homestead is one of my favorite tracks on the circuit, really. But I haven't had too much luck all year, so we're gonna have to see how it goes.
Yeah, this is a good way to start off the chase. I know you're not in it, but could play spoiler maybe out there. It's actually in 2 weeks. We're off next week for Halloween, but you start 4th here. You do lead a lap on your way to an incredible 2nd place finish. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just you guys for allowing all the fans to watch these races. You guys do such a great job putting them on. They're super fun to go back and watch, especially this one's gonna be this one's gonna be cool to go back and watch, at least the last lap anyway. My VSPEED teammates, thanks to Keith for racing me hard there at the end, and everyone that came out to watch.
Awesome, Ryan. Well, congrats on the real world success as well. I know you got to drive a real stock car, you know, a little while ago, and now have a fun photo finish here with your teammate. Yeah, a couple good little racing events here for you. But
thanks, I appreciate it, Adam.
Yeah, have a good Halloween. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, man, you too.
Congrats, Ryan.
Thanks, out.
That is Ryan Gemmel, 2nd place finisher here tonight. And now we go to the winner, and that is going to be Keith Mayato. Alec, I believe you're with him.
I am Keith, my auto brother. You are the first winner of the BTDY Chase, I guess, inaugural race, or not inaugural, but the first race of the Chase. You win it in spectacular fashion, battling door to door, door banging with your teammate. How does it feel? I think you're going to get the point laid out of this. How does it feel now, getting that win and having a nice start of momentum?
I gotta say, it feels pretty good. It's been a little disappointing, middle of the season, and to pull off at a win, especially at a track that I'm not a big fan of, is like, what are the chances? I guess just clean pit stall or pit, running the pits there on the last stop, which got me the lead, and thankfully I had Ryan with me.
Yeah, again, a spectacular finish. Congrats on the win. Now, I got to ask you, the next race of the Chase is not like it's the cutoff, the rounds. It's an 8-race Chase. I believe the next race, not next week, we're off for Halloween, but the week after that, which I believe is October 6th, or actually October 7th. How do you feel about going out to Homestead, which is our second race of the Chase, and going out there and racing?
Well, I love the track. I'm usually pretty good with those high wear surfaces, so I'm looking forward to it. It's too bad, I got a week off after putting a win in this week, so I hope to keep the momentum going 2 weeks from now.
For sure. Well, again, we wish you. Again, congratulations, and wish you and your family happy Halloween, of course. And anybody, before we let you go and celebrate the win, anybody want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Ryan, for sticking with me, even though he tried to pull the move on the last lap. All my teammates, we all work really well together, and yourself and Adam for doing an awesome job in the VSPEED booth, and Affinity for Gaming sponsoring the race tonight, and just everyone at Below Double Yellow for putting on this great show.
For sure. Well, we appreciate it, man. Again, congratulations on the win, and we will see you in 2 weeks for the race at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Sounds good, man. Thanks, Alex.
All right.
Yep,
Anyway.
great win, Keith.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, what a battle here tonight. What a finish. Man, let's go through the results here. I think, if I'm thinking about this correctly, we only had one caution in 125 laps.
Definitely had another caution registered.
Oh,
in
yeah.
pit road.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many close calls. You had Gardner hard in the wall. You had a few other cars have some really nice saves tonight, though, that could have very well ended up in big wrecks. So
sure.
really nice job by the drivers out here tonight. It's in the opening race of the Chase in the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Keith Maiato gets his second win of the season, so congrats to him. 18 lead changes here tonight. Ryan Gemmel, he wanted to make that last one on the last lap and had the lead for a bit. But man, what a drive to the end there for Maiato. He takes the win. Gemmel comes home in the second position. Bailey Turner, he'll come home in third. Ben Bafford, strong finish in fourth. Reggie Ortega gets a solid top 5. Luke Knupp, probably his best finish of the season, finishes in 6th. Brody Hayes in 7th. Chris Samard finishes in 8th. Dylan Parker comes home in 9th. And Daniel Cunningham rounds out the top 10.
Michael P. Frisch comes home at 11th. Dennis Fairclough, 12th. Dane Cruz, one of the chasers, in 13th. Adam Cabot, the first car lap down, will go into 14th. There might be a big hit in the points. Dallas Sullivan in 15th. The regular season champion does not get the start he was hoping for today. He'll finish in 16th, one lap down. AJ Stravato, another chaser, in trouble with some trouble today, in 17th. Eric Hutton in 18th. Yusuf Ghali, 19th. Another chaser, Angelo Ronis, will round out the top 20.
In 21st, it was Joshua Banks. Rough night for him. Going to be a big hit in the points. Eddie Trejo, 22nd. Nick Gardner, 23rd. And Jeff Wright comes home in the final position, 24th. That could, I know we've got 7 more races this season, but that may be too much to overcome here for the number 48 machine. But
I think if you look at it here, Banks, Ronis, and Wright are going to be in a tough situation these next races. They really they got to get top 3s, top 5s. I think that's where they're at here. They've lost a lot of points. I think it kind of helps that Seth Hatchell didn't have a great race, and neither did Adam Cabot. But I think with Maiato winning, Baffert getting in 4th, Bailey Turner getting in 3rd, you're going to have a tight battle. I think so far it's going to be between, at the moment when we go into Homestead, I think your top 4 in points is probably going to be Turner or Maiato at the front. And then you're probably going to have Baffert and Hayes trailing right behind them, very close. They'll be right behind them, Stravato, and then it'll probably go Hatchell, Cabot, Stravato, I think that's where we're at. And then Dylan Parker, shout out to Dylan Parker, had a really bad race starting the race in the pits. was in the back all day, got through the pit cycle, and got ninth. He's going to get a ton of points on guys that had a bad race. Same with Dane Cruz. Dane Cruz, we managed to salvage a decent day out of it, getting 13th, but I think Dylan Parker getting the top 10 is really going to help at least keep him in the fight here, especially with Hatchell and Cabot having some bad days. It kind of brings the field a little bit closer to each other if you think about it.
Yeah, definitely going to be very interesting here as we get back to racing in a couple of weeks from the Homestead Speedway. I'm excited for that one tonight. Fantastic race. Mayato, another two-time winner this season, but nobody in the field with more than 2 wins. It's been incredible parity and just a ton of fun to watch these guys battle it out this week, or tonight and all season long. And so,
awesome season.
Yeah, just been incredible. So we are going to be off this Thursday, I believe next Monday and Tuesday.
Tuesday, yes, we're off. So,
yeah.
For Halloween, again, happy Halloween to all of those watching. So we will be off next week, but on November 7th, after the conclusion, I believe, of the Cup race, or the Cup Series season, we will be there for Homestead, right?
Yeah, we'll be back with that one, and looking forward to
I gotta ask you 2 questions since we don't come back till after the Cup Series season's over. Number 1, are you dressing up for Halloween? I gotta ask you.
So that's Monday.
That's Monday.
So I'll be on my way back from Martinsville, so I'll be dressed up as someone on a road trip. Yeah.
All right. Well, have fun in Martinsville. And I gotta ask, who's your pick for the championship, Cup Series championship?
Oh, the championship pick. Oh my goodness. My gosh, I don't. Who's locked in right now? It's
Logano, I believe.
Logano is the only one locked in.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I just want to point this out. I'm a man of the stats. The guy that wins the first round or the first race of the round of 8 has usually 70% of the time has won the championship.
Wow.
Point that out.
Yeah,
They
I don't know.
either win the last race or they win the first race.
Yeah.
Elliot Harvick won the last race and won the championship.
Is Byron still in it, right? He's still
Byron
technically
is currently 3rd, I believe.
Okay, yeah. If he wins Martinsville, it's very possible. Logano is pretty good at Phoenix, so I want to go with I'm a Hendrick guy, so I'll probably go with Byron. We'll see what he can do here in the next few weeks, but he's my pick, I guess. It's kind of the wild card.
I know Logano's cool and all. He's not my favorite driver, but I think you get so much time to prepare. I think you win the championship that way.
Yeah, it's not a bad call. I mean, he is a very, very talented driver, and he has had a pretty good season here, especially this last little bit of it. But it'll be a fun time. One of the best places in the world to watch a race. So looking forward to that. But until the next broadcast. So that'll be next Thursday. Will be our next one with the BMW Car Club of America. Not this Thursday, but the next one after a few days off here. So we'll catch you then for that one, and then the following Monday will be from the Contender Series at Homestead, and then Tuesday in the Premier Series to continue the chase with these drivers you saw here tonight. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks to Affinity for Gaming, Martin Sports, and all the folks at Below the Double Yellow for letting us put these on. And until next time, have a great night, have a great Halloween, great weekend.